You know, I think product unboxing videos, not all of them, but a good number of them, they just suck. They just really don't really give the product a fair shake. Now, I'll tell you what I mean. This product here was reviewed by me, I don't know, a few months ago, and I'll put a link up here that takes you to the original review of this product. But I gave it a pretty bad rating, and one of the problems with it was that I just didn't get the kind of suction I felt I needed. Well, the problem is, after getting to know the product and becoming more acquainted with it over time, is that this isn't really made for the kind of aquarium that I tested it on. I tested it on a 210-gallon aquarium with heavy gravel, and that isn't really what this is intended for. This is intended more for aquariums like I did a water change on this not that long ago. So now that I understand the product a little better, you put this product in here and you use it more as a touch-up product that can just lightly touch up some of the waste on the bottom and return the water to the tank. So I don't have to do like a full water change, because the water in here is actually pretty good. So I can actually use the return hose to stir things up a little bit in some of the harder to reach areas. And then this will catch it, this siphon will catch the detritus in the filter that's located inside of this compartment right here. So it's actually a better product than I gave it credit for, and that was more because I really didn't have the time to spend with it in the rush to get a review out. And I suspect that that's probably not that uncommon with these types of open box type review products. I mean, for what I'm using it for here, it's actually perfect and has the right amount of suction that I need for something like this. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just doing a little light touch up, and the water is going back into the aquarium once it's been filtered through the sponge that's included in this. Try not to let this hose kink up. If it does, you might end up with some back pressure that can leak or from the top of it, but just be aware of that. But you can see I'm just doing a pretty effective touch up here on the sand. And for an aquarium like this, 55 gallon, that is this deep, it does a decent job if you're between water changes and just want to do a cleanup and don't want to go through the process of having to refill the aquarium. This product works well for that. Now, you still have a product that comes in at a pretty high price point for what it is, and a hose that kinks way too easily, as you can see. So I would stiffen those things up on it. But I just wanted to make sure I gave it a fair shake, because in that first video, I was using it inappropriately and giving the impression that it really doesn't provide any suction, but it does. And once you're done, you can remove the sponge that's in here and clean that out, and you're ready to get to work again on another tank, cleaning out detritus or doing a light vacuuming and returning the same tank water back to the tank, but filtered or cleaned through a sponge that's in this compartment right here. So you have a link to my original video. It was the BD electric aquarium gravel cleaner, electric aquarium gravel cleaner from a company called BD, and this is 12 volt, and it comes with a lot of attachments and things. You can watch the original video on it. Just wanted to give it a fair shake. Now, there's one other video I just released. Another video, and one of the complaints in the video was justified, and I want to go ahead and and show you, in all fairness, what the deal is with that product so that you don't walk away with the wrong impression. Here's that aquarium light that I just did a review on, the LED smart stand light from that company Zing Babu, and I'll include a link on that original review. But one of the complaints you folks had was that it didn't sit square, and you didn't like what it did to the lid in the way it was installed. Now keep in mind that this light will be used on a lot of tanks that are rimless and don't use lids at all. But by moving the light back here and by correcting how this post is actually installed here at the top, where originally it was installed in a way that was incorrect. So now I've installed this post correctly, and as you can see, the light sits perfectly square. And so, you know, I get it. Some of you didn't like the aesthetic of the light, but the truth is that it does sit square. It is a good quality light, and now that I noticed it's on sale, it's not a bad deal actually. And so, again, one of those things that I became familiar with as I used the light, and also I received an email from the vendor saying, hey, you know, that light will sit square if you have this section of the post installed correctly into this little collar right here that tightens up. This is supposed to fit into an area in here, and it wasn't fit in there entirely correctly. And so now you can see it sits very, very square over the aquarium. So because I hadn't used it long enough, because I really didn't scour the paperwork on it as thoroughly as I should have, I didn't give this light really a fair shake. And so there you go. I stand corrected. It is a better quality light than I thought. And in that sense, we still have an issue, of course, with the exposed metal and in the wiring, which you can use some of that electric grease on here to make that a safer connection. Someone even suggested using some black electrical tape, which I don't like because it leaves a sticky residue, but again, that would work to seal this thing up. And the company did contact me and say that they will work on improving the quality of this over time, and I'm sure they're still committed to a decent price point. I think at around $31 on sale. Again, I'll include a link to that original video, and that video includes all the links to the product. So there you have it. And perhaps saying that all unboxing videos suck is not fair. Certainly some of mine have, and only because I didn't, as one of you pointed out under the last video about that light, that you really don't know until you really don't know about the product until you've given it the test of time. And in the case of unboxing videos, very often the review is done right out of the box, and so and sometimes there's no follow-up. There's no, okay, it's been a year, here's how it's going. So I thought I'd just correct that and share with you some afterthoughts on those two products, just to give them a fair shake. And if you have any comments, tips, or ideas, share them in the comments below. I'll be happy to read them and respond if I can. And I will do a better job in future product evaluations. And I think what I'll do in the future is, instead of receiving the product and then responding to the pressure of the provider who is saying, hey, listen, we got to get this product review out quick, we have a campaign going, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to say, look, if you send me a product, I'm going to be holding on to it for a while because I'm going to be using it for a while, and then I will put out my review on the product. I think that'll be better for all of us. All right, tell me what you think in the comments below. I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. I'm going to include a link to all the products I've ever reviewed right here, up here in this corner. And so just click on that, and I'm going to give you my best tips for fish keeping, all included in this playlist right here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, just give me a punch in the face right here, and you'll be subscribing. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.